What if I told you that I remember everything that I watch on YouTube? I used to watch hours of content only to forget it all in the next day. Sounds familiar? In this video, I will show how I solved this problem using AI. But firstly, I have a confession. I'm a YouTube addict. I spend over 8 hours per week watching videos on YouTube. My curiosity is endless and YouTube is definitely my playground. But lately, I realized something frustrating. I was consuming so much and yet retaining so little. It felt like a huge waste of time. But I know that this isn't just my issue. Think about it. Studies show that our attention spans have drastically shrunk. And in fact, the average human attention span has fallen to a mere 8.25 seconds. And we can see this reflected everywhere. Even in the rise of short-form video culture on platforms like YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and of course, TikTok. Last week, my family and friends sent me over 25 Reels and TikToks. And honestly, when my friends bring up these videos in conversations, I often just smile and nod. The truth is, I rarely have any idea what they are talking about. I simply cannot remember them. My point is, we are bombarded with information from every direction, and we are constantly scrolling and constantly consuming. This isn't just a personal problem, it's a modern problem. Let me give you some specific examples, right? So recently, I watched an amazing video by Ali Abdal on how to start your business. The content was brilliant, I swear. Though, just a few days later, when I tried sharing the key points with my wife, my mind went completely blank. Out of the 10 tips that Ali shared in his videos, I could barely recall one. Another example is Andrew Huberman's videos. They are packed with valuable and detailed insights. But whenever I sit down later to recall these insights, I can't seem to remember any of the core strategies clearly. Don't get me wrong, I know that we are incredibly lucky to have access to these learning tools like YouTube. And they could be transformative, allowing us to learn from the best minds in the world. But the current system, the way that we are using it, is like trying to fill a bucket with holes if we can't remember what we learn. And learning is only valuable if we can use what we learn. And for that, it requires retention. I realized that I was losing out on the real value of YouTube because I couldn't remember and I couldn't apply what I was watching. I knew that something had to change. I needed a more systematic approach, something that could capture the essence of this video, filter out all this noise, and of course, creating a lasting knowledge. That's when I came up with the idea to build my own web app. The goal was simple. It was to create some sort of a second brain, a personal knowledge base where I could rely and store the key insights from the best videos that I watch on YouTube. It's like having your own curated library of YouTube knowledge. The app basically works by first grabbing the video's transcription and send it to the web app. Think of it like subtitles, but for the entire video rather. Then it comes the crucial part. It leverages AI to process this transcription in seconds. And it identifies the most important sentence and ideas, filtering out all these ideas to give you the core message of the video. And finally, the app takes these key points and sends them straight to my Notion. Now, let's dive into the application architecture, right? So firstly, it is important to understand that the entire solution is API-based. And if you are unsure or unfamiliar with APIs, you don't need to stress about it. I will link a video below where I explain them in very simple terms. Essentially, APIs are the communication channels that allow different apps to talk to each other and exchange information and data in a securely manner. But for it, it requires a quick one setup. You just need to connect to your accounts by adding the API keys. And think of API keys like secure digital keys that allow different apps to talk to each other on your behalf. In our case, we are using YouTube, Azure AI, and Notion on your behalf. And after that, it's just 2 steps. You just need to copy the YouTube URL into the app and click the button Summarize and Add to Notion. Let me show exactly how I solved this retention problem. And for that, I'm gonna use the example that I mentioned earlier in the video from Andrew Huberman, on how much protein we really need. First, I open the video and just copy the YouTube URL. Then I pasted this link into the custom web app. Inside the app, you will notice fields for Notion token, which lets the app to connect securely with my Notion workspace. Then we have the Notion database ID, which basically specifies where I exactly want these summaries to be stored. And finally, we have the API keys for YouTube and Azure. These keys allow the app to fetch the video's transcription and use Azure AI to summarize and extract the most important insights from the transcription. After entering all this info, all I need to do is click and summarize and send it to Notion. And within seconds, the key points from the videos are summarized and stored directly on my Notion database. As a result, let's see how it looks the summarized video on Notion. Each summarized video is clearly organized in my Notion database, including the title, a direct link for easy rewatching on YouTube, and a concise AI-generated summary. For instance, here's the entry for Huberman's protein video. We can see that it's clear, brief, and instantly useful with the key points from the video. And I'm particularly satisfied with how effective and cost-efficient this setup is. I've chosen to use GPT-4o Mini because it's perfect for simple tasks like summarization, providing quality, cost-effective outputs. And of course, you can also tweak the summary prompt directly in the code if you need it. Every important video becomes part of my personal second brain. And because it is stored in Notion, I can use Notion Search and even its AI features to quickly find and revisit these summaries anytime that I need them. It's like having the perfect recall of everything valuable that I have already watched on YouTube. To sum up, that's how I've built a system to actually remember everything that I watched on YouTube and turn it into a valuable and growing personal knowledge base. It's not about passively consuming content anymore. It's about active learning and building a resource that I can use for years. And if you are interested in the technical details of how this app works, including the code and API integrations, I'm sharing a deeper dive on my Substack. You will find a link below where you can subscribe for more technical breakdowns. But ultimately, it's about taking control of your learning and bringing clarity and focus to your information consumption. Thanks for watching.